Well, Gutekunst has come out and said that he doesn't think there's anything he could have done differently to put him in a position to maybe win the Super Bowl. Now, Gutekunst has been the target of a lot of, bullet shots that we have sent in this particular office, just because the way everything's been handled. And, Gutekunst, I'm sure he's a good guy.
I'm sure he is too.
I'm sure Gutekunst is a good guy, okay? But the thing about Brian Gutekunst as the acting general manager of the Packers is some of the decisions he makes is going to be judged because of the Lamborghini he has at quarterback. So it's like, hey, every decision you make now is going to be judged under the pretense that this guy is going to win you games by himself. Everything else you do around him is going to be how you're judged about how you create a Super Bowl winner. Now, NFC Championship contender, awesome. By the way, you have the guy. You have the quarterback that's going to get you in that situation. MVP probable this season, even though we've already named him the MVP. But him saying he couldn't have done anything differently, like, I look back on it. I do a lot of self-reflecting. Really, no regrets looking back at the draft last year, says Gutekunst. It's like, okay, the guy didn't dress for one game, all right, the first-round draft pick. You traded up to go get, by the way. You didn't have to. You just wanted to go get this person. You got to the same exact spot you got to last year. Is there no regrets? Are you content? Is he comfortable with where he's at? You would think like anybody would come out and say, you can always look back on blah, 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 like the way he... Now, granted, we are potentially taking his quote out of context, but, there had to have been something you could have done somewhere, right? A little bit differently if you didn't win the whole damn thing.
Well, don't you think he could just be trying to keep Jordan Love's confidence up too, saying like, what if he did come out and say, yeah, you know what? Probably shouldn't have drafted the quarterback we have in the first round. Probably could have got a wide out. Like, that's not going to bode well for really anybody there.
You're 100% right. I didn't even think about Jordan Love, to be honest, and that's on me, all right? Because this was not Jordan Love's fault. Jordan Love did not choose to trade up to draft him. Jordan Love is just a victim of circumstance in this particular situation. And that is interesting to kind of keep Jordan Love's mind at ease. You just piss off your entire fan base. That's a smart balance. That's an interesting balance. And by the way, only GMs understand that. Nobody else would understand that particular feeling. And you're right, that probably did cross his mind where he was like, yeah, could have got somebody on defense maybe. Could have not traded up, maybe traded elsewhere to get some other things. And now that we know that, DeAndre Hopkins was potentially on the market there for a little bit.
Trade back.
There's a lot of things that we could have potentially, but instead of saying that, Nah.
That was a championship football team.
No regrets, dude. Made the NFC Championship.
Look at the wide receivers that were taken after Jordan Love, too. They really could have. Claypool was a second-rounder. T. Higgins. Brandon Ayuk was drafted at 31. They really could have added someone legit.
Yes,
and by the way, this is no offense, obviously, to MVS and Lazard.
No.
Look at the Chiefs. They got 15 wideouts that are all good. All right, look at the Bucks. They got 15 wideouts that are all good. So good. Whenever you have LaFleur, who does seem to be an offensive wizard alongside Aaron Rodgers, by the way, when you have Aaron Rodgers, the more weapons, the more creative you can get, the more everything. I think that is what we have learned from this Kansas City Chiefs team. We used to think there's only one ball. There's only one ball, whatever, this is how we do it. It's like, not anymore. Now you need to be, it's an arms race at this point, it feels like, on the offensive side, if you have a quarterback that can make plays.
Well, that's the key. If you have a quarterback, if you have a Pat Mahomes, if you have Aaron Rodgers, because think if you have all those studs out there and you don't have a guy that can really get him the ball consistently, there's going to be an unhappy offensive meeting room, that's for sure.
That's going to be so uncomfortable, by the way. You're talking about Jordan Love feeling uncomfortable there with that conversation. Man, just like the ping pong table area. A couple guys are playing. Quarterback walks up. Guys put the paddle down. Just walk into the room. This guy stinks. This guy. Throw me the fucking ball, pal. Huh? He's in the vicinity. Yeah, you're 100% right. But Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys. He missed what? He missed MVS.
Yeah.
But other than that, he puts it on everybody. It is not you. If you give him more options, he go. No regrets, dude.
Well, and that's what my whole thing was. Is it's not if you don't take a receiver, that's fine. You can get someone on the defense that you do need help there too. Taking a quarterback, that pick is still indefensible. You can say whatever, but
What about Jordan Love's feelings?
I mean, I don't give a rat's ass. about
Wow,
Jordan
this
Love's
guy's an
feelings.
owner of the Packers.
You know, I mean, I didn't want him to do it then. I saw it coming from pick 16. I saw 17, 18, 19. I knew the Packers were going to take him. I did. I mean, it's terrible. It's
Hey,
terrible.
Ty, what about to counter your point? Did you see today? I think it was on Get Up. Marcus Spears said, like, "I'm glad. I think the Packers did the right thing taking Jordan Love because they're now look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, the situation they're in, trying to figure out who Ben's replacement is going to be. When you know it's probably one more year for Ben,
Well-
he acts like they're in a tough spot.
Yeah, but
Listen, Swagoo, shout out to Swagoo. That's an incredible take. Aaron's elbow seems to be in one.
exactly. He's still humming that son of a bitch. Yeah. I mean, humming it.
Now, granted, Aaron gets hurt. You're in trouble. But guess what? Tom Brady gets hurt. They're in trouble down there. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. Chad Henne, okay, he's Chad Henne. All right, I get it. But they're in trouble. Obviously, whenever you lose an MVP, your team is going to look different. Like, that's just, by the way, that's the NFL. Like, injuries happen now. Ben Roethlisberger, I love Swagoo. Okay, I'm a big Marcus Spears fan. That particular reference is not an accurate one, I don't think, strictly because Tommy Yawn and Ben Roethlisberger had a date for a few months. You know what I mean? Where he had to put piece his elbow back together. And also, I'm not sure Aaron had to cut a couple things cold turkey out of his life.
That's right.
With all due respect to Ben, Aaron does take better care of his body.
I'd say.